Hey, welcome back. I mentioned a salty snack for like game day or a get together of any kind, really. We're going to be making some pretzels, some soft chewy pretzels. And I have got 1.5 cups of hot water in there with a tablespoon of sugar. Now I'm going to add 2¼ teaspoons of yeast. And I just want to walk away from that and let that bloom. So I'll bring you right back. Okay, so this looks great. Now what we want to add is 4.5 to 5 cups of flour. So I'm going to start with a couple here. Then I want to put in a teaspoon of salt. And we're going to go ahead and start mixing. We don't want all the flour put in at the same time. I have 2 tablespoons of melted butter I'm going to put in. And I'm going to go ahead and put I'm not going to need to add more flour. It's very humid today. I'm sure that's affecting it. So I'm just going to let this go ahead and mix and self-knead for about 5 to 7 minutes. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get this out. I'm going to cover this and I'm going to set it over by the oven where it's a little bit warmer. And we're just going to let this rise for an hour. Okay, so I have got the oven preheated to 450. And now we're going to make some pretzel shapes. You can make the traditional pretzel shape, of course, but typically what I do are pretzel twist. They're just a nice bite size or easy to eat snack, you know. So let me grab. Alright, so I halved it. We'll work with this first. And I just cut it into pieces. Depending on what you're making, on how big you want to cut your pieces, of course. Let me get these over here out of the way. Also, on my stove in a pot, I have some water with baking soda. Okay, so I just roll out a rope, and then I take each end and I start to twist it in opposite directions, and that's going to cause it to start to twist in on itself. Just keep twisting till you get to the end, and then just pinch the ends together to seal it. Alright, and I'm going to continue to twist these into pretzel twist, and I'll meet you over at the stove where we'll be ready to move to the next step. Okay, so I have on medium heat water with baking soda, and I'm just going to drop these in very, very briefly and pull them out. They're going onto a sprayed cookie sheet or pan. While they're still wet, I've got coarse salt here ready to go. I want to salt them. When you're cutting your dough, that's what's going to determine the size of your twist. So as you can see, they don't go in for very long. I like the twist because every little groove that, every little twist, every little groove that it's making, when you're dipping it in your nacho sauce or cheddar sauce, it really hangs on, and it's they're just very easy to eat. Now I've got the oven preheated to 450, so these are going to go in for about 10 to 12 minutes. You know, everybody's oven is a little different, so at about 9 minutes, start checking them. Now we're going to get these pretzels over to a rack and brush some butter on them, and that will make them even more delicious. Okay, I have got some melted butter, and you just want to give them a good slathering. That gives you a nice soft pretzel. And the butter, of course, tastes good. You can see the salt sticking to them because we did that part right after they came out of the water bath. Okay, and I have one more batch. You can see somehow some of these are really long. If you're having a party and you want to make them all this size, you know, you could just cut your pieces of dough smaller. These are good size pieces of dough that are rolled into a long rope and then twisted. So just a thought there.